Hello, we are on our new episode of Student Spotlight today. We are here with Laura Friedmann. She has a business called Bioshield. Say hi, Laura.
Hello.
We're very excited to hear from her and about her business and how it's growing and how it is just using the resources that it has to do better in our community and just hear about how she's a college student at NDSU and how she's doing that at the same time. So without further ado, we're going to get into our questions. So the first question is, what year are you in college and what is your major?
I am a junior and I am in mechanical engineering.
Okay, that's awesome. So tell us a little bit about your business endeavor. What is it? How did it become? What's the name?
Yeah, absolutely. So the name is Bioshield Roofing System. This started when I got involved when I was a freshman, but it started a couple years before that. I'm doing undergraduate research for Dr. Chad Allman, and we work a lot with composite materials. So when I joined as a freshman, he said, "Hey, I had this project that other people were working on. Now they're graduated. I think this would be something great for you to take on." So I was like, "Sure, let's do it." He had an idea where he's like, "I think this could be more of a business format, but however you want to take it, it's on you." So what we did is I contacted Scott Meyer and I was like, "Hey, I need a group of students. I need business students. I need architects to hopefully take Bioshield, which is a composite roofing shingle that uses flax fibers and epoxy instead of asphalt, which you normally have 3-tab or 4-tab asphalt on your house." So I presented him with Scott with the idea. I was like, "Hey, this is what we're looking at. Could you find me some students?" From there, he reached out, he gave me a list, and we ended up with 2 business students and 2 architecture students. The 2 business students graduated, and so right now it's me, Katie Kent, an architecture junior, and then Andrew Wangler, also a junior. I mean, it's a 5-year program, so they're 3 years out of 5. So it's the 3 of us, and we've been developing it since we were a freshman, and going from, this is an idea, we can make it in the lab, but then how do you continue to get funding to continue to do that research and to take it from the lab where I'm familiar with to marketing it and talking to people and say, would you actually be interested in this long term to see how relevant the research would be? And we've really started to develop it a lot last year. Unfortunately, with COVID, it kind of changed the plans a little bit, but we were able to make it an LLC this year, and we've started to reach out and do more grants and getting awarded grants and finding different routes of funding and just different resources in general. So that's how it started, and now we're here.
Wow, that's really awesome. So this kind of goes off of what you just said. When did you first start thinking about starting your business? Would you say freshman year?
Yeah, I would say, second semester freshman year into beginning of first semester sophomore year is kind of when it became real that this could be a thing.
Okay, that's awesome. Do you have an emotional connection with your business at all?
Like an emotional connection with it? I think maybe I'm more invested with the people I would say I work with. I like working with the team with them and building that relationship has been very positive. The business itself, I don't know. I'm an engineer. I don't always, connect with that. But I think it's really just the people you work with and get to know throughout the process is what connects you towards building a business.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. What was your biggest obstacle while creating your business?
Time, definitely time. As a college student, there's so many directions that you can be pulled. You come into school and you're like, I can join this club, I can do this, I can hang out with my friends, and then I can do my schoolwork. And then comes the thought of, well, I still have this business I want to make. When do I find time for that? And I think, and NDSU has so many good resources, like the NICE Center, and reaching out to Scott and just some of the departments on campus where if you want to do it, you can. There's nothing stopping you there, but it's how much time are you willing to dedicate and start investing in something that might not have a direct I don't know, wouldn't say like reward or direct right away, where you have to wait for that and you have to put that time in, and later down the road is when things start to happen. And I think the biggest thing is just really dedicating your time to something that's unknown.
Yeah. Did you know like who to contact? Like, how did you know how to contact Scott or the Nice Center about this new idea?
Yeah, it was definitely Dr. Allman. He's done a startup business or two, and he's very connected with, getting grant funding and different opportunities. So he was the one where he's like, hey, Laura, I think Scott would be a great starting point.
Yeah.
So he was able to point me in the right direction. So that's how I got connected.
Oh, that's cool. I know you told us a little bit about this before, but who have you collaborated with to make your business?
Yeah, we have collaborated with the engineering department, with the Nice Center, Katie Kent, Andrew Wangler. And then we've had the two previous business students as well. I guess collaborating with Venture Well. That's a grant that we were awarded last spring, about a year ago. And it was supposed to be in person in Boston, but it was online. So that was still fun though. And it was like a week-long training program of marketing and business. And so we were able to partner with them. We also worked with Disrupt Well, which was a summit out in Bismarck. They made promotion video for us. They gave us other connections throughout the state of North Dakota. That was very nice to be able to partner with them. And we're starting to look at getting involved with Innovate ND, which will also, that's a great program that we're just starting to look into, that will hopefully also build our connections as well.
Nice. That's awesome. So who are some people you look up to? It could be in the business world, or it could be like family members. Do you have any special people that you look up to?
Yeah, I actually was thinking about that yesterday. So my brother is Matthew Friedmann. He was the student body president this year. And he is someone who I've known, like, obviously my whole life, since he's like 18 months older than me. And seeing him go from like coming in as a freshman, not necessarily knowing what he wants to do, and now finding his passion, going to grad school at NDSU. He was an undergrad, grad student body president. Now he wants to become a lawyer. And I think really seeing how he didn't have much going for him, but his determination and wanting to work hard and the resources at NDSU that he had really made him be successful. So that, like, you can start from anywhere, and he didn't stop. And so, like, if I ever think about like something's not going right, or, maybe I'm not, excelling as much in a certain area as I want, I don't see that as a bad thing. I see that as, well, this is where I'm starting from, but that's not where I'm ending. And I think my brother has been a really great example of that. And so he's someone I think about whenever I'm like struggling or trying to do something new with this business. It's not where you're starting. It's going to be where you end and how much effort you put in between those places.
Okay. Yeah, that is awesome. So how would you say that you are involved with entrepreneurship? Maybe you've never really thought about it this way, but like, obviously starting a business is being involved with entrepreneurship. So how would you say that you're involved with it?
No, that's a great question. So, I think as an engineer, I always really see myself in the lab. That's what I like to do. I like to do testing. I test engineering, and I never thought entrepreneurship would ever be for me. But I think like the ways I'm involved with it now is like, once you open that door, it just flies open, and there is so many connections, and like even like jumping on here and talking, and I got to know Jonathan Brooks. He's, I think, starting a new business here on campus. And just hearing about what he's doing with his friends, and he came up with his idea over quarantine, and I'm like, that is the most productive use of quarantine I've ever heard. And so I think just how I'm involved is now understanding, how do I work multidisciplinary within NDSU? How do I connect with the Nice Center and make the best out of those resources? participating in the Innovation Challenge here at NDSU has also been a great opportunity for me. And really forcing myself to, take an idea from the lab and say, well, do people actually like this? And how do you figure out if people like it? And how do you take it to the next step? And I think that's how I'm involved with it.
Okay. Gotcha. So our last question is, what is important for aspiring entrepreneurs to know?
I would say you can do it. I think, especially here in the United States, you can start a business. Starting that LLC took us about a half an hour, maybe.
Wow.
Going online and doing that.
Yeah.
And the possibilities there, and if you have the idea and you are willing to work for it, there is absolutely nothing stopping you, but you're dedicated to it. And so you're passionate. It's all yours. I think that's the biggest thing.
Cool. All right. So now that we're done with those questions, we're going to move on to our overrated or underrated questions. I'll give you a topic and then you say overrated or underrated and why you think it's overrated or underrated. So the very first one is Starbucks, overrated or underrated?
I would say underrated. I think it's pretty good. You can, ask for whatever you want, make it however you'd like. And so I think it's hard to overrate coffee, in my opinion.
Yeah. Are you an iced coffee person or a hot coffee person?
Definitely an iced coffee person.
Me too.
I think that's the best.
The next one is stocks, overrated or underrated?
I'm going to go overrated. You can, overrated in certain capacities, maybe not when you're older, but I think the way I see it projected on a lot of social media and maybe the glam it gets, I think it's overrated because I think it's actually a lot more work than people express it to be.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever tried to get into that kind of stuff, like stocks or I don't know, like Bitcoin or something like that?
No, I leave that up to all my friends. That's their realm.
Yeah, that's awesome. The next one is Applebee's half-priced apps, overrated or underrated?
That's a great question. I think they are I think it's overrated. I think it's really good, and I think it's a good deal. But I would say the quality of food versus the time you spend sitting at Applebee's is not worth it.
Yeah, I suppose. I love Applebee's half-price apps. They're my favorite.
I could be putting in pizza rolls for $4.25 for 12 minutes, but I would value a little higher than Applebee's, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's awesome. The next one is Target, overrated or underrated?
Oh, underrated. Target's fabulous. You can get lost there, and then you can come out spending $200 when you only came for milk or something. So I think that's one of the greatest places on earth.
Exactly. The next one is summer, overrated or underrated?
Oh, I think summer is definitely, it's underrated. Summer, especially I'm from Minnesota, and so I am counting down the days till I can go to the lake here in 4 weeks. So.
Yeah. Do you have a cabin at the lake?
No, my best friend has one, and I have a dedicated room in that cabin. It shows how much I go up there. So
that's awesome. That's super nice. All right, the last one I have for you today is blue light glasses, overrated or underrated?
Oh, I think those are underrated. Those saved me during online school in March, April, May last year.
Mm-hmm.
I also worked as an intern online during the summer. And blue light glasses, I was 8 hours a day on the computer. Blue light glasses were everything.
Did you have to get expensive ones, or were the cheap ones, did they work fine?
I got mine for, I almost have mine in my bag somewhere, but I think $30 I paid. So I feel like I kind of got a maybe mid-range-ish one a little bit. So they're very nice.
Nice. Well, thank you for coming on the show today, Laura. It's been awesome to get to know you and your business. Bioshield Roofing Systems is their new business, up and coming. They do not have any socials yet, but they are coming and they're on the way. So look for them. Thanks for coming on the show. We'll see you next time on Student Spotlight.